Like children everywhere, these youngsters in Malawi, southeastern Africa, play, oblivious to the fact that the hunger they feel every day should not be normal.
About 70% of the households are affected due to malnutrition. And among the children, 48.3% children are malnourished. They can be put in the category of stunted.
Protein malnutrition is a big problem in Malawi. And also, the fat, vegetable fat is required, in vitamin A absorption. Because of some of these problems, the child blindness is, the rate is very high in some parts of Malawi.
A solution may lie here. In Africa, these are groundnuts. In North America, we call them peanuts. Though we know they're nutritious, we often think of them as a snack food. But for African children, no matter what you call them, they can make the difference between health and illness, a good life and a bad one. Paula Subramaniam's organization, the International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics, more usually known as ICRISAT, has been working for years to breed better peanuts. Traditionally, groundnuts have been an essential part of the farming system here.
Tumabzala chimanga, chakudya sima, tumabzala ntedza. Tedzao umathandiza njira zambiri, timadyaso tedza.
Groundnuts provide families with an inexpensive source of quality protein. They're used to flavor many of the starchy staples that are the base of people's diets in this part of Africa. Because they're legumes, groundnuts also fix nitrogen in the soil, helping to maintain its fertility for growing other crops, like maize. Given this, researchers reasoned that a better peanut could have a major impact on the lives of the rural poor in eastern and southern Africa. The result? A new peanut variety called CG7.
Oh, it's very good in terms of you can easily double the yield, compared to the local varieties, unimproved varieties. This variety can simply double the yield.
ICRISAT is part of a global consortium of research institutions supported by Canada that are working to improve nutrition and food security in the developing world. As with all innovations, their biggest challenge has been to convince farmers to give up traditional groundnut seeds and to train them to use better techniques to improve their yields. The first thing to do was show off the new peanuts to local farmers.
We gathered the farmers, from various villages to a good field and bad field so that they can improve next year. We had about 400 farmers attending, that field day. Seeing is believing. So they could really appreciate, the performance of improved varieties.
To speed up adoption of the new peanuts, ICRISAT formed a strategic alliance with Plan International, a child-centered charity working in developing countries. They have an extensive grassroots network in Malawi. The distribution idea was simple. A selected group of farmers would get the new peanut seed for no money. But at harvest, they had to pay back the seed with interest.
Say, for instance, we give 5 kilograms to a household, and they have to pay back to the project 10 kilograms. But this variety gives very high yield. So the farmer doesn't mind, paying it back twice. So they pay us back. In fact, they are paying now 10 kilograms back to the project. These 10 kilograms will be distributed to 2 more farmers. So next year, the number of farmers will go to 3. The one who got the seed in the first year, and the 2 more farmers are added in the second year. So like that, it goes in the exponential fashion.
The result is that every year twice as many new families have seed as had the year before. And since the seed itself does not have to be replaced each year, that is in addition to the existing users. It's a peanut pyramid that's proving very popular.
Koma umene watsopano ife kudya pabanja kuti kwanira anaso akumadya kumasangalala maphikira phala kudya anoti mwana utsika sosike sikutsika tifete kutira kuphala mwana akumadya sanyamaraso ndi amphamvu ife antedza umenewo chifukwa choti umakwanira pabanja pasepo
ntedzawo wathandiza kwambiri chifukwa mmene mmali malokolo ndiye kuti nimachedwa mmene ndapyala ntedza umenewo naona kuti wanipindulira nikagulitsa zithandizo lima ndalama ni chani nothandizira wana ku sukulu
tadzala ntedza umenewo watipindulira chifukwa wasiyana ndi umene timalima olokolo umene ndiwopinda chifata kula wambiri.
Next year, twice as many farm families in this part of Malawi will have access to the new groundnut variety. So they too will have more income, better nutrition for their children, a better life all around. And besides, it makes the best peanut butter I've ever tasted. In Sankana, Malawi, I'm David Mowbray for the Canadian Farm.